Hi, my name is Lauren Still. I'm a marine educator here at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab Discovery Help Programs. And today in our beach series, we are going to get nitty-gritty about sand. First off, what is sand? Sand is a sediment. It's actually a classification of a sediment, and you have to be 0.05 millimeters to 2.0 millimeters wide or in diameter to be classified as sand. So the next thing up from sand would be gravel, and after sand or smaller than sand is silt or clay. Even you at home can be a sand detective. Maybe you went to the beach and you still have sand in your shoes. You can shake all that sand out and look at it underneath a magnifying glass. From there, you can really start to dive in to these really cool rocks. So the first thing we're going to talk about is color. The color of the sand is going to tell us what mineral that sand is made out of. Here along the Gulf Coast, we primarily have white sand, and that white sand is made of white quartz, and our sands along the Gulf Coast can come in different shades. Those shades vary depending on what other types of heavy minerals are in that sand. And I mean it by looking at these two right here. Okay, this one on your left, but this is from Destin, Florida, which is just down the way from us. This one here is actually from Dauphin Island. It has a little bit darker in color because there's different minerals in it that change the shade. And that white quartz, that's nothing in comparison to the sands that you can find around Hawaii that has black sands. And those black sands are particular to volcanic activity or from volcanoes. So this is volcanic minerals that are left behind, right? That is broken up into small pieces as sand. And there's other places around the world that have different colors of sand, right? It comes in many shades and sizes. It's made of a bunch of different minerals, and that's why it's a bunch of different colors. So you have some oranges, some greens, even some white in here. So not all sand is made of minerals. Some sand is actually made from other organic sources like shells or corals. How you can tell if your sand has shells or corals in it is taking a pipette and just getting a little bit of vinegar here. This is white regular house vinegar. I'm going to take that little pipette. You can pour it into, you don't have to have a pipette, and I'm just going to gently put it over this sand. This sand is originally from Hawaii, and you can start to see that little sand move. We actually like to make sand dance around here. That movement is actually a chemical reaction because the vinegar is an acid, and the sand with these little bodies that are making up in the sand, or the exoskeletons, is calcium carbonate. Another fun test that you can do at home is actually not with magnifying glass, but with a magnet. You can take a magnet and dip it into your sand, stick it in the sand. This sand is actually from the Olympic Peninsula over off the coast of Washington, and then you lift it up and look. This sand is magnetic. Next thing we're going to talk about is the angularity of the sand. And that all that is saying is the roundness, or how much it's weathered, or how much it's been eroded away. And that tells us a lot about where beach it kind of came from, or potentially how long it took to get to the location that you found it. This one here is actually an older sand. It has rounder, smoother edges on the outside. Sometimes when you go to a beach and you feel this, it's like, ooh, this really soft sand is somehow people will describe it. Or this one here is actually younger sand, which just means it hasn't been eroding as long. It hasn't been tumbled around in the waves. And so where you pick it up, that it's just newer sand in comparison to this one. If you had fun today and you think sand rocks, because I mean, we dig it too, check out the link above. There's a resource on Mr. Sand.